Hi and welcome. This should be a pretty quick video about some recent finds. I went to a machine shop closing sale. The guy had been in business for 50 something years, which was really impressive. And so he had a ton of stuff for sale. I got there the first day of the sale and I was also the first person there. So I had my pick of the litter. Unfortunately, the guy is still sort of pseudo working. And he really didn't want to let go of stuff. He was charging, you know, you go to that sort of thing, you say, I'll buy like a whole box of stuff and get it for pennies on the dollar. He wanted things closer to like 25 and 50 cents on the dollar. So I didn't get anywhere near as much stuff as I originally would have liked, but I did pick up some interesting items that I thought I'd share with you. First up, I found this DMT diamond stone here with plastic, great for flattening other like carborundum stones or aluminum oxide stones. Nice diamond abrasive on it. Got an okay deal. I mean, it's cheaper than what it was new. I paid 25 bucks, I think. I think these go for something on the order of 60, 70, maybe even $100. Not a good deal, not a great deal. Next up, I have a couple of reamers. He had boxes and boxes and boxes and whole cabinets of reamers. He probably had more than 1,000 reamers. So I offered to buy like this one box that was like maybe 50 reamers, all in sizes around, you know, 1/4 inch, 3/16, that sort of thing. And I thought he'd give me a deal on it, but he wanted to like count each reamer in the box and charge me per reamer. So I just bought a couple in sizes that I could use. Like this is 3/16. This one here is 5/16. Not the best deal I've ever crossed. I think he charged me 10 bucks a piece for those. Next up, we just got a bunch of small taps and really small sizes like 0.80, 256. I got some M6 taps and one spiral fluted pipe tap for 1/8 inch pipe threads. Nothing really exciting to see. He counted all the taps individually rather than just say, here's a box of like 10 taps and here's the deal. Not happening. Next up, I picked up some Sawzall blades. He had an entire drawer full of Sawzall blades. These are all look like they're for cutting metal. Very fine pitch. This is 24 TPI. This one is 10 TPI. This one is a variable pitch, 10 to 14 TPI. So I picked these up. He gave me a good deal on these. I think he gave me these like $3 a pack. So those are that's a really good price. Next up, I've got some end mills. These are 1/2 inch end mills. They're high-speed steel Niagara with a welded flat on them, coated. I've got a use for these. These might be great for the D2 tool steel, although carbide would be better. But I think he gave me 3 of these for 25 bucks. Not a bad deal considering how much these cost new. Titanium aluminum nitride coated. He had a massive collection of slitting saws. And I originally, when I went in there, the first thing I saw was slitting saws, and I use those more often than I'd actually expected. And so I offered him a deal on a stack of like maybe 20, 30 slitting saws. He goes, do you know how much those cost new? I said, yeah, they're in the order of 100 bucks, a little over, depending, some of them more, some of them less. If they're carbide, they're a lot more. These are all high-speed steel. He goes, well, I think I want to get 25 bucks a piece for these things. So I picked 2 that I thought I could use immediately. Again, I was hoping to get a deal and I just wasn't getting any. Here is a 1/4 inch long aircraft drill. And it came in a pack of 4. The pack originally had 6. He opened the pack, counted the drill bits and said, I want 10 bucks a piece for these drill bits. This guy had quite literally tens of thousands of drill bits and he was going to sell them piecemeal. He wasn't going to give a deal on quantity. Again, I thought that was really weird. Next up, I bought a couple of these. He had a drawer full of these as well. He probably had like 40 or 50 of these. These are 1/2 inch 20 hole finders, hole locators. So you basically use this tool to screw this into an already existing 1/2 inch 20 hole. Turn it around, you've got a sharp hardened point. You can tap down on the part and it'll leave a mark where the hole location is on another part. So these are threaded hole transfer gauges, I guess that might be a way to call them. I don't know what the technical name for them. I got just the 1/2 inch 13 and 1/2 inch 20. It was a pretty reasonable price. I think I got them for like 10 bucks a piece. Interestingly enough, he had sizes going all the way up to 1 inch, and I don't really use anything that big, but I'd never seen him that big before, and that was kind of interesting. If he'd offered me a deal, I would have picked up the lot. Next up, we have an indicator holder that's reasonably well used and unfortunately a little bit rusty, which I hate. But I didn't realize that Michitoya made one of these. This is an indicator holder, and it's much, much tighter than the Chinese ripoffs of these guys. So I thought I'd give it a shot, try it out. It holds indicators with a round shaft or the dovetail, which is really common. Most of mine are, oh, and you can flip it around and have the another size shaft too. So it looks like this thing will flip 180. That's a really interesting design. In any case, this was kind of expensive, probably not relative to what it was new, but he charged me 40 bucks for this. And when I got there, the guy was, unfortunately, he had trouble speaking. So, and it took him a really long time to write down the price, everything. He wouldn't like give me the prices up front. I had to go to the checkout line. And so rather than just back out of the checkout line, I don't know if I would have paid 40 bucks for that all over again, but in any case, I did. This was an interesting find. He had drawers and drawers of shoulder bolts. Now I know if you watch my other videos, I use shoulder bolts, you screw them in a hole, and since these diameters are pretty tight tolerance, you screw them into a hole and you can use them to find hole locations by subtracting half this diameter, and you get really close to the center of the hole. So I have to do a lot of reverse engineering, and he had sizes that went much bigger than this. I just took a couple. He charged me $50 for this box. Now that was a lot, but not really considering what these things cost. Small shoulder bolts are like eight bucks a piece kind of thing. This guy's probably like 15, 20 bucks a piece. So yeah, based on what their value was, but he had drawers and drawers, an entire cabinet that was just shoulder bolts. Actually, 2 cabinets that was just shoulder bolts. This guy's shop was amazing. He bought lots of used stuff, and he had lots and lots of extra. Last but not least, he had drawers and drawers of these tool and die springs, which were pretty cool. And he actually let me have these for free. And so I took a sampling of sizes and just got a huge variety. He had tens of thousands of them because they were springs he used in items he sold, which he made thousands of apparently. So everything here is what I got. And the total cost was $400, which was more than I wanted to pay. I probably, if I hadn't waited almost a half an hour for him to total up the prices, I probably would have backed out, and I probably should have. I just felt like I'd already spent enough time. So in any case, these are things I found. Obviously, the face value for these items is way over $400, but a little odd when you're going to like a sale of a liquidation of a shop. But this guy was his first day and he really didn't want to get rid of anything. Still, I'm not totally upset at my finds, but could have done better, I think. Thanks for watching. Hope you find it useful. Hope to see you next time.